Caitlin Clark's recent encounter with Dijonai Carrington during a WNBA playoff game sparked widespread shock and debate. Fans of the Indiana Fever star, known for her incredible basketball prowess and competitive spirit, were left stunned after new footage suggested that Carrington's actions weren't just aggressive basketball but an intentional foul. This incident occurred during the Fever's game against the Connecticut Sun, a matchup that carried significant tension, given the budding rivalry between the two athletes. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. The controversy centers on a specific moment when Carrington, while defending Clark, appeared to poke her in the eye, resulting in a black eye for the Fever rookie. Although the referees didn't call a foul, video footage later revealed a different angle that made the action look deliberate. The intensity of the hit, coupled with Carrington's past interactions with Clark, further fueled suspicions that it wasn't accidental. For many, this wasn't just a physical altercation. It represented a growing animosity between the two players. Clark, known for staying calm under pressure, initially shrugged off the incident, continuing to play despite the swelling in her eye. However, her performance took a hit, as she missed all 6 of her three-point attempts in the first half. The aftermath of the eye poke saw a surge in online reactions, with Clark's fans taking to social media to express their anger at Carrington. The conversation didn't just stop at the physical foul. Carrington's mic'd-up comment during the game, where she complained about not getting a foul call after a separate play, only heightened tensions. Fans were quick to point out the irony, accusing her of playing the victim while simultaneously delivering what they perceived as a dirty hit. Carrington's reputation as a physical and sometimes provocative player has made her a lightning rod for controversy. Earlier in the season, she mocked Clark after a foul, intensifying their rivalry. While physicality is part of the game, especially in high-stakes playoff scenarios, the footage of this incident went viral, with many believing it crossed a line. For Clark supporters, this moment wasn't just about the hit. It was about protecting a player they've come to admire for her resilience, skill, and sportsmanship. Interestingly, Clark, despite being in pain and clearly affected by the hit, didn't escalate the situation on the court. Her focus remained on playing the game, a decision that garnered even more admiration from her fans. However, the footage of the hit being replayed across social media platforms kept the incident alive long after the final whistle. It wasn't just a foul anymore. It had become a symbol of the rough treatment Clark often receives on the court, something her fans believe goes unpunished too often. While Carrington has faced criticism for the incident, there are also discussions about how referees handled the situation. Many believe that the referees should have called a foul, considering the severity of the contact. This has led to broader conversations about how physical play is policed in the WNBA and whether certain players, like Clark, are targeted because of their rising fame and influence in the league. The rivalry between Clark and Carrington now seems to have entered a new phase, one where every future interaction will be watched with even more scrutiny. Carrington, for her part, has not directly addressed the allegations of intentionally hitting Clark, though her on-court behavior and the subsequent viral moments have ensured that the controversy continues. Fans and analysts alike are waiting to see if this rivalry will manifest itself in future games, especially considering how much attention it has already garnered. For the WNBA, this is a story that will likely continue to draw attention, particularly as the playoffs heat up. Clark, who has captivated fans with her deep-range shooting and competitive edge, found herself at the center of a growing conversation. The hit she endured from Carrington wasn't merely a point of debate over refereeing decisions, but an examination of how star players are treated in high-intensity games. Clark's black eye became a symbol, with fans questioning why such a blatant act wasn't penalized during the game. As one of the most talented and popular players in the league, it seemed unthinkable that a hit of this nature could go unnoticed, leading many to speculate that the referees had dropped the ball. The narrative surrounding Carrington also took on new dimensions. Known for her tough, aggressive style of play, Carrington has never shied away from physicality. However, fans pointed to this latest incident as a line crossed. While rough play is expected in professional basketball, particularly during the playoffs, this particular moment felt different to many spectators. The intent behind Carrington's poke wasn't something that could easily be dismissed as a regular foul, and when the footage surfaced, it fueled the idea that this was a deliberate attack. For those familiar with Carrington's style, this incident seemed to fit within a pattern of behavior, with some accusing her of making a habit out of such fouls to get into her opponent's heads. Interestingly, while Carrington's actions were under heavy scrutiny, the conversation also turned to how Clark handles such challenges. Despite the severity of the hit, Clark's composure throughout the game was remarkable. She didn't lash out or demand justice from the referees. Instead, she played on, focusing on her team and the task at hand. That unflinching attitude was characteristic of Clark, whose rise in the WNBA has been marked by both skill and poise. Her fans were quick to praise her for not letting the incident distract her from the game, although it was evident that the injury had affected her performance. By the end of the game, Clark had finished with one of her worst shooting nights, and many couldn't help but wonder how much of that was due to the black eye she suffered in the first half.
Honestly, a really
As
great
with
game,
any
and
significant
like you
moment
said,
in
this
sports,
crowd was
this
absolutely
incident
incredible.
had repercussions beyond the court. Fans began speculating about whether this would escalate in future matchups between the two teams. Some wondered if the referees would keep a closer eye on Carrington's physical play, given how much attention this foul had drawn. Would Carrington now be under the microscope, with every move she made scrutinized to ensure she wasn't deliberately targeting opponents? These questions underscored the larger conversation about how physical the game should be and whether players like Clark need better protection from referees. For Carrington, the backlash she faced online wasn't just about this singular moment, but reflected broader frustrations with her style of play. Comments flooded social media, with some calling her a dirty player and others suggesting she uses physicality to make up for a lack of skill. While these accusations are harsh, they show how polarizing Carrington has become as a player. For every fan who enjoys her tough, no-nonsense approach, there are others who see her as crossing a line. In some ways, this incident with Clark only added fuel to the fire of Carrington's already controversial on-court persona. Even with the growing controversy, Clark's reaction to the situation, both on and off the court, has only endeared her more to her fans. Rather than retaliate, she chose to focus on the game, and although her performance was hampered, her resilience shone through. For many, this incident is just another chapter in Clark's rising stardom, one that shows she's capable of handling the pressures of professional basketball, both physically and mentally. Dijonai Carrington, meanwhile, has found herself at the center of a storm that seems far from over. Whether or not that hit was intentional, the optics of the situation have certainly hurt her image among certain fans. But as with all things in sports, the best response will likely come in future matchups, where both players will undoubtedly have a chance to prove themselves once again on the court. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.